This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Cartoon Collection 2000X style Beastman, the Savage Henchman. This is the first of our deluxes that we will be looking at, and this guy looks huge just off the bat. Look at those arms. On the side here, we got Beastman getting ready to say, "I love you." And on the other side, we got him getting ready to give you some flowers. Yeah, Valentine's Day jokes, sorry. And on the back, we see As Seen on the Night of the Shadow Beasts. And this is where they actually introduced the 2000X version of Shadow Beasts as well, which did make many appearances in the Filmation cartoon. That's a pretty badass looking image of Beastman too, not gonna lie. So, for our special features, we can put his whip into his hand. Ha ha ha, glorious. As part of this wave of deluxes, we have Beastman the Savage Henchman and Ram Man the Heroic Human Battering Ram. Which I actually got that one too, it came in, and man, I don't know why, but for some reason, even though the box was big enough, they folded the top on that one. Like, seriously, that's what I got in for the Ram Man. That really ticks me off. So I'm kind of hoping I can exchange this for one that is not folded in half. But anyway, let's go ahead and open this sucker up, shall we? Oddly enough, while they're not doing comic books, they are giving us the little card of information with the deluxes in this line. So we got our little white card thing that shows us what parts come off of this guy, if I can open it up. All the standard bits and pieces here. It looks like even the legs come off again. I wonder. We'll have to take a good look at this guy in a bit. Well, let's take a look at his card here. It's again a nice bit of imagery of Beastman getting ready to attack. It's actually the same bit of imagery that was on the side of the box. And on the back, we see Beastman, the Savage Henchman, dim-witted but dangerous. The loyal henchman of Skeletor maintains the beastery deep within the caverns of Snake Mountain, using his mind control powers over animals and beasts. I just want to pull him apart real quick. Looks like it is larger than our normal, no, maybe it's not. No, it is. Here's the crotch piece from He-Man. Yeah, that's definitely bigger. Man, Beastman is tall as hell. All right, so that's interesting. Or maybe that's not. Oh my god. Is that glued in? No. Yes, maybe. No, it's not glued in place. That's kind of weird that this side folds out where this side's kind of like right up against the thigh or the calf. There we go. Pull that up more, maybe. I don't know. Might have to heat this strap up to straighten it out a bit better, so it looks right. But man, let's look at that expression on his face, man. That is whoa, that is something else. That is definitely something else right there. Pop his head off real quick. Yeah, that's a whole new body sculpt going on there for him. You know, the neck is leaning forward to give him that more bestial look. But something I noticed while I was just kind of moving him around a bit. The spikes here are a separate plastic. They're not just painted. And they are soft, although that point is still pointy as hell. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, I am glad that they decided to give us a whole new body for Beastman here. Because I just don't think this would have looked well if they tried to classify them as Scott Nettlich said during the Classics era. His bracers are actually part of the forearm, so they don't come off, which is not unexpected considering this is probably the only figure that'll use this body. Because I can't think of any other figure that's that big that would have that body shape. But as far as articulation goes, the head spins all around. And it can kind of look up and down a little bit. You really don't get much in the line of a side, though, just because of the way the figure's designed. Although he can kind of like shake his head. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. As far as the arm rotation goes, we can hinge the arm out all the way. We can hinge it back in. And of course, we can only spin it so far before it starts moving his furry body and, you know, basically works itself loose. Which has been an issue with some of these figures. Also, let's be honest, you're probably not, even though this stuff comes off, you're probably not swapping this out with any other figure. Right? Because, let's say... that just looks funny. Yeah. I mean, it is compatible and all, but... it does look funny as hell. Okay. Now that we're done screwing around a bit here. Alright, so... the armbands are also just the full circle, not a buckle. We can hinge the elbow. It's less than 90 there. But it can swing in and out. No jokes, please. We can spin the wrist. His hand has in and out articulation on both sides. So he does not hold his magic sword aloft like some of the like almost every other 2000X figure we have looked at. Obviously, he can spin at the waist, but just to point out, his proportions are further off than our normal sized ones, so to speak, our regular size. So you do see it kind of bend out the skirt piece, or the loincloth piece, whatever you want to call it. Legs can hinge out about that far. We can hinge forward quite a bit, but not very far back. We can bend the knee about 90 degrees. And it's, you know, obviously it's pegged in there so you can kind of spin it there. The kneecap armor, again, it's kind of annoying. I'm also not sure how you would actually get that off. Because to take that off, you'd really have to pull the foot off. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to really risk that. So if I heat that up, it's probably going to have to be like a heat gun. That being said, we can hinge at the bottom of the foot and spin it around as well. I think somebody has a big toe fetish because they made sure to sculpt that big toe far away from all the others. So maybe Beastman likes getting his toe sucked. His whip also has a bigger handle on it than most of our weapons do. Probably because his hands are bigger than most of our other ones. And unfortunately, his whip is posed. So like I mentioned with the Catwoman figure from Batman Returns, I'm not a fan of posed whips. Most of the time when they are posed in a position that is meant to help them fit in the packaging and not look particularly realistic for use. I will admit this one is a little bit better than most because that is kind of the shape you get when you've got it behind you and whipping forward, but that also limits the way you could pose him. And I mean, just for what I did here, it's kind of hard to get that whip in the camera. You know what I mean? But as far as this figure design goes, I mean, he looks great. I wish that one harness on his leg was straight and not like bowing out like that, because that just kind of ruins the look of the figure in a way. But that should be easily fixed with some heat. It's just looks like it's going to have to be heated up on him and then cool down on him rather than the usual take off the piece of equipment and do it. Because obviously that's not going to go around the foot very well. and I don't want to risk pulling the foot off. I mean, I know they could come off, but as we've seen with some figures, although not necessarily from Mattel, those parts are very brittle and can break easy when you try to pull them off. That being said, I like the way this figure looks. I think he's going to be an excellent addition to the 2000X collection, and he looks badass, man. That head sculpt is just awesome. I like it. I think if you're going for the 2000X ones, or even if you're not, this is still going to be a great figure to add to your collection. Though, unlike some figures, he's not going to fit in well with your Filmation figure collection, which hopefully they'll continue on with the Filmation ones as well soon, because I would like to see more of them released. I do have the last wave of them, plus the King Randor and Queen Marlena left to review. I haven't gotten around to yet. But yeah, once again, I'm going to just say it. This Beastman looks pretty badass. But why don't you let me know what you think of this guy in the comments below, and if you want to get him. He is available in the wild. I saw him at Walmart over the weekend. I just wish I could find that Ram Man in the store so I can swap him out and have a decent box. As people might remember from some previous videos, I do like collecting the artwork. But if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to whip that like button into shape. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe. And if you want, go ahead and slam down that notification bell. You might get notified when a new video pops up. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.